G'day guys, we are doing part 2 of how America has messed up Americans, particularly those of us living abroad. So you've already seen part 1 probably if you've tuned into this video. So grab a Becky, grab a cuppa, and let's jump into part 2.
And if you know anybody outside of America, please tag them. What do you think of us?
Your seemingly contradictory ability to be completely obsessed with yourself and totally oblivious of yourself at the same time is somewhat impressive.
That sums it up so well. Yeah, I mean, it hurts a little bit, but yeah, he did a really good job of summing that up. There are a lot of Americans who are like that. And for the longest time, I was like that too growing up. You're raised in the cult of America. You do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag every single morning, grade school and high school. It's not something that people really question. It's something that you're sort of indoctrinated to as a kid. So you don't question it when you're younger. And when you're older and you start to question things a little, you either tend to go to one extreme or the other.
And the amount of pro-nationalist American propaganda that the average American seems to regard as totally normal is frankly worrying. I mean, the fact that you have the need to put the flag on almost every street corner, and you have a picture of the president in almost every classroom. Every time someone kicks or throws a ball, you have to stop and sing the national anthem first. And you seem to regard questioning or criticizing your military as a cardinal sin, which is terrifying. I think if more of you traveled the world more, you would find that you have a lot more in common with backwards dictatorships than hopefully you'd be comfortable with.
Oh, that is so true. And if you said that to a lot of the patriotic Americans, they would be fuming. I'd actually kind of love to see their reaction to some of that. But it really, really is true. What were some of the things that he had said? Let me go back and just break down some of it, because a lot of it is spot on.
The need to put the flag on almost every street corner, and you have a...
So putting the flag on every street corner. I know a lot of American homes who around the summertime in particular, around Memorial Day and then the 4th of July, will put flags outside. Some people have flagpoles out the front of their house. Some people have like American flag bunting. Sorry guys, somebody wanted to come and say hello while I'm filming. So yeah, there are a lot of Americans who do have the flag and whatnot outside of their house. I didn't think anything of it when I had a house back in the States. I did actually own a home back in the States. Long story. But I had a little thing in front of the house that actually had a spot for 3 small American flags. I had 3 small American flags outside of my house. I didn't think anything of it at the time, and I wasn't some die-hard American patriot. I was, like I said, your average everyday American, so a lot of Americans do that. And I can count on one hand the number of homes here that I've seen have an Australian flag or flagpole in front of their home, or even in their backyard. It's not something that's common over here at all.
A picture of the president in almost every classroom,
Is that not a thing? Okay, I'm gonna sound like a dumb American now, I know it. But is it not a thing to have like posters of past prime ministers or past monarchs or anything like that in classrooms over here, even history classrooms? Because I remember every single history class I had in high school, we had posters of the presidents, all the way from George Washington all the way up until, I guess it would depend on when they actually bought the poster. Some had George Bush, some had Obama, so it was sort of anywhere between there when I was in school. But is prime minister posters, monarch posters not a thing? It's not common. I'm gonna get flagged for this in the comments, I'm sure. But to me, that was normal, and that's honestly not something I even thought about until this video, that's not something other countries do.
Anytime someone kicks or throws a ball, you have to stop and sing the national anthem first.
Okay, I feel like this is really, really common in a lot of sports. I mean, Mark and I were just watching the MotoGP race at Phillip Island the other day, and they played the Australian national anthem, Advance Australia Fair, before the actual race started. So I don't know if that's really that uncommon. And then, like in the Olympics, it's also really common to play the national anthem of the first place winner's country. So in this case, it won't give any spoilers in case anybody hasn't seen it, but they played the national anthem of the first place winner for the MotoGP winner at Phillip Island, just like they do it in the Olympics too. Whoever wins that particular race, whoever wins that medal, whoever gets the gold medal gets their national anthem played. So I don't know if that's really that much of an American thing or if it started becoming a thing globally because of America. I'm not sure, but I don't think that's really just an American thing.
And you seem to regard questioning or criticizing your military as a cardinal sin, which is terrifying.
Yeah. There's so much money that goes into the American military, and there are so many Americans who are proud of having the biggest and toughest military out there. I mean, I don't know if ours is bigger than China. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. But I know it's definitely at least in the top 3. But along with that, something you didn't mention is there's this almost hero worship for a lot of people who have served in the military. Like, there are people who will go up to a homeless vet who has a vet hat on and like a little cup for change, and they'll drop $1 in there and go, "Thank you for your service." Do you not see the irony in that? Do you not see how messed up that situation is? I know Australia's military has been sort of highlighted in the last couple of years, particularly with some reports that have come out regarding, I can't say this word because, again, YouTube demonetization, but unfortunately that's becoming a more common thing amongst veterans over here in Australia. It's very common for vets over in America as well, along with homelessness. Homelessness for American vets is astounding what the numbers are, you guys. It's shocking, it's disgusting, it's embarrassing. But there's this idea of almost hero worship over in the States for people who are currently serving, and then once they've served, yeah, sure, you thank them for their service, but what are you really doing to help them out as a government, as a country? Because there are so many homeless vets over in the States. It's disgusting and it's embarrassing that we treat them this way.
I've been waiting for this one. If you don't know me, my name is Ashley, and here are my qualifications. 1, I'm American. 2, no longer lives in America. And let me tell you something, I never pretended like I thought like everyone in the world loved Americans, right? We all know that's not true.
You learn that when you're older. When you're a kid, you think everybody in the world loves America. You think that the only enemies to America are evil Russians and Nazis, and those are the only people that hate America up until you're like maybe in like your preteen years, and then you realize, hey, we're not really what we're cracked up to be. There's a lot more to the outside world than just what we see here in America. So honestly, as a kid, that's not something you think at all. You think everybody loves America when you're growing up as a kid in the States.
Right? You do know that, right? But it's brutal. I'm not gonna lie, it's brutal. Firstly, they think you're stupid. And to be honest, the longer I live outside of America, the more I agree with them. But before you come at me, let me explain why. For background, I now live in the UK. But yeah, stupid's number 1. 2, we're noisy and we lack complete etiquette, especially at the dinner table.
Okay, so I think that is going to definitely depend on the culture you're going to, because Aussies are way more casual about dining etiquette. It's basically use your manners, use a knife and fork. Unless you're eating something like pizza or chicken wings or something, don't use your hands. Like very, very common, very, very American etiquette.
3, we're over patriotic. Did you know it's against the flag's code to like make bedding and clothing out of the American flag? And yet it's everywhere. But also, it wasn't until like last year that I realized that no one else pledged allegiance to the flag.
Yeah, I didn't know that up until very, very recently. I'm 31. I didn't realize until I was about in my mid-20s that other countries don't have things like the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And that they don't make kids recite this as early as kindergarten, so that way you are basically indoctrinated into the cult of America at a very, very young age. Which, if you think about what the Pledge of Allegiance says, it's so weird. You are pledging your allegiance. Now, I know there's obviously meaning and symbolism behind it. You're pledging allegiance to a piece of fabric at like 7:30 in the morning when you're too young to have coffee. You're about to go on a sugar crash from the super sugary American cereal that you just had, and you're really looking forward to recess, but you have another 2 hours to go before that, so you're not paying attention, and you are just repeating what it is that you've been trained to say for years. That is what it is like as an American kid going to school for 9 months before you take that random 3-month gap during the summertime, which is a terrible, terrible system.
And when you really think about it, how culty and like is that? 4, we're self-centered. Like God chose the president, or we were the key factor in winning World War II.
I didn't know up until I was in my 20s that we weren't the key factor in winning World War II. Honest to God, I thought that for the longest time we were the reason that the rest of the world, or at least most of the rest of the world, won World War II. So, not something you're taught in American history classes at all. You're taught that America's the reason we won World War II. Like, we're literally taught that we don't want to get involved, and then the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, so now we have to get involved. So we send some troops over to Europe to control that, and in the meantime, we're coming up with this nuclear bomb, and then we go and fly over Japan, drop 2 bombs, and once we do that, the rest of the war is over because we dropped 2 nuclear bombs onto innocent Japanese citizens. That's the reason that America won World War II.
5, we are far too attached to heritage. Why is everyone like 12% Italian?
Yeah, and there are people who, even if they are that 12% Italian, will still claim that they're Italian. That's what is so frustrating. You're not Italian, you're American. Go up to Italian and say you're 12% Italian, and then tell them that you're Italian and see what they say to your face.
Number 6, why... Will you hold up, Kat? Why does the government make decisions for abortions? That's not even like a topic of discussion here. Everyone I talk to about Roe v. Wade over here is so confused why it's even a case, why it's even in the government's hands at all. 7, why guns? Especially why guns after so many mass shootings, and especially school shootings. 8, why so much rape culture? 9, why so much serial killer culture?
One of the weirdest questions I got moving over here was actually from a 13-year-old Aussie. She's my friend's daughter's friend. And I was talking to her and her daughter one day. They're asking me all these questions about America because they never met an American and they were curious. And she looks at me and goes, "Why are all serial killers American? Why do you watch so many serial killer documentaries?" Now, I'm not somebody who's into the whole true crime thing. I'm not somebody who's into the whole serial killer thing. But it is so common over in the States to be obsessed with this serial killer stuff. The documentaries, these docu-series, they're so popular over in the States. It's mind-boggling to the rest of the world how we are so obsessed with this serial killer culture. No wonder you have gunmen who go into schools and movie theaters and concerts and shoot things up, because their name ends up in the media everywhere afterwards. They become sort of like one of these killers, and to them, they get their little moment in the spotlight. It's disgusting.
And 10, most importantly to the Brits, why do Americans think that they can outdrink anyone else, especially the Brits? Because let me tell you, you can't and you won't. In all honesty, I totally forgot to even mention healthcare, which is a whole nother video on its own. Actually, each one of these points could be a video on its own. Actually, I could make entire videos of each and every one of these points. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it, but these are just the facts. The facts being what other countries, specifically Brits, think of us Americans.
So there are a lot of Americans who think that they're big drinkers and they were really big college drinkers and they could drink anybody under the table. No. I thought that there were a lot of Americans who were pretty big drinkers before I came over here, and I've been to Aussie pubs. People over here in Australia can put away their beer like it is nothing.
So let me know if you want more parts.
And if you know anybody outside of America, please tag them. What do you think of us?
So here's the humble opinion of a Canadian citizen. I may not represent all Canadians, but I do hate the United States of America. It's not their domestic problems like their fascist police state, their racism, their sexism, their homophobia, their transphobia. It's not their non-existent healthcare or their inaccessible education, or the fact that their country is built on the foundation of millions of corpses of black and brown and indigenous people. It's not their imperialism, dictatorships they've sponsored, the millions they've killed and crippled, the governments they've overthrown and forced to bend to their will. It's not the fact that they've created a military empire that spans the entire globe and keeps us all in line. No, what does it for me is that the American people can live in a country that is so broken and far beyond repair and still somehow think that they are free and protect the so-called freedom of everyone under their boot. So yeah, you guys suck.
Yeah, there's a lot of irony in how little freedom Americans actually do have compared to a lot of other first world countries, and yet there's still always going to be people that say we're the freest country out there, even though there's an index that said we were in, I think we're like number 10 or number 18, something like that on that list from what I remember. So America isn't even the freest country out there, but of course they're going to say that's biased and they're not actually taking things into consideration, X, Y, and Z. So you know what? At the end of the day, we all know America isn't the freest country. We all know America has a lot of flaws to it, and I'll be honest, I'm so glad I'm not living in America right now. I didn't move here to get away from America. I moved here because my husband's Australian, and it was either I move here or he moved there, and we both decided that I would move over here to Australia. And to be honest, there isn't a day that goes by where I have regretted it. It's been such a good decision. I'm so glad to not be in that country anymore. Even though Australia does have its flaws, America is such a flawed country, and so many people in America don't see it. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really, really does help support me and this channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.